Hey, how's it going everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Vanilla Soup, and today we're going to be talking about some ideas that I have for Halo Infinite armor customization. You see, back at the Halo Infinite multiplayer reveal at E3, we got a really cool look at the new armor system, and we got a peek at the coatings and what are some new armors that are going to be available. Now, I know, like me, you're probably really on board with the Yoroi armor. I think that is a cool addition that I can't wait to see in action. I'm going to use it for at least a little bit because that armor with the 152 Halo 5 coating, I can't wait. That's gonna look so good. But in today's video, we're actually going to be taking a look at armors that are from other franchises that could lend themselves really well to the Halo Infinite multiplayer. I sort of got this idea because that new armor set really reminded me of the Hayabusa armor, like I'm sure a lot of you got reminded of it as well, and that armor was indeed from the Ninja Gaiden series in reference. So with the huge scope that Halo Infinite is going to have with demographic and player count, Halo Infinite has a really cool opportunity to reach out and maybe pull some armors from other franchises that would fit really well in the Halo universe. But before we get started with the list, remember, if you enjoy the video, leave a like on the video. It does help out a lot. But with that out of the way, let's jump into the list. First on this list is going to be something that is inspired by the Metroid series. I, for one, have some good friends that are die-hard fans with the Metroid series, almost as much as of a die-hard fan as I am for Halo. Joey, you could fight me later on that one. But both series are their console's major sci-fi franchise, and I think they both speak really well to a certain target demographic, and that being sci-fi fans that just love big people in suits that kill things and doesn't afraid of anything. But aside from the fan bases being very similar, I think the lore within the franchises have a lot of things in common as well. This armor set could be inspired more from classic Samus armor, but honestly, with both games having a major release this year, the suit in Metroid Dread seems like a really cool fit for Halo Infinite. I think it'd just be a really fun, lighthearted crossover that could happen, and I don't know, maybe if Chief does end up in Smash Bros, this is a really good way to promote Halo Infinite by bringing those Metroid fans over to Halo Infinite. A lot of the armors on this list have that almost Fortnite approach where you put something in your game that brings the other fan base to check out your game, and I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that as long as it's done in moderation and tastefully. We don't want Halo Infinite to be a huge ad for other games, we want Halo to be Halo, but subtle references here and there through armor or cosmetics might be just the ticket to have some really cool fun with it. Alright, next on this list is the Luden suit from Kojima Productions. Now admittedly, I haven't played every Kojima game, but the name itself is recognizable across the gaming industry. Kojima's name carries with it such a grand legacy that I think a lot of gamers just know inherently about him. And the Luden suit becomes more iconic with every game Kojima Productions releases, and I think it's just a really cool armor in general. Not to mention that there has been a lot of rumors floating around about how Kojima is teaming up with Xbox in some sort of way. Maybe it's going to be a game that's exclusive to the Xbox platform. We don't really know too much, just the rumors are floating out there. So if those rumors are true, I think Kojima Productions having a mascot in Halo Infinite would look really cool. It doesn't have to be grand, it doesn't have to be out of this world and exactly like the Luden suit, but I think a couple nods here and there through the armor detail would be really fun. Alright, next is Doomslayer. Now, you had to see this one coming. There would be no Halo without Doom. Doom is as iconic as it gets when it comes to the first-person shooter genre. So it just makes sense if they're going to reference anything or anyone out of the whole gaming world, Doomslayer has to be first on that list. I think Doomslayer is probably the #1 top contender for having anything referenced in Halo Infinite. If they're going to pull anything from any other games, Doomslayer's it, right? It has to be. Doom is owned by Bethesda, which is owned by Xbox now. So I think his armor is just a shoo-in to be a part of Halo Infinite. Alright, the next one on this list is admittedly completely fan service to people like me. And that is an armor set inspired by my favorite movie ever, TRON Legacy. But for real, I would love this. I would die for this. Okay, maybe not, but probably I would. I just love this. I would kill for having an opportunity of having some legit Tron aesthetic armor within Halo Infinite. Even in Halo 5, I tried my hardest to make my Spartan look like he was a part of the Tron universe. Tron Legacy is by far and away a really cool aesthetic anyway, so I think having Tron Legacy being represented in Halo in some aspect would be really cool. We even have precedent for it in Halo 5. Someone at 343 clearly has a deep passion and love for Tron Legacy as well, or at least the whole Tron franchise in general. And this comes by the way of Master Control as part of a lineup of cosmetics you can have as your weapon cosmetics. And not to mention that it's not just a coincidence that they look very Tron. The whole pack called Master Control set, if you bought it on the rec store, actually quotes Tron Legacy pretty closely, talking about how we kept dreaming of a weapon cosmetic we thought we'd never see, until one day
I got in.
Okay, don't judge me on how much I know of Tron Legacy and how much I'm able to just quote it off the cuff, but just know I'm a big fan. Big fan. And also, lighting effects are becoming more and more common within even the MCC, with new armors that are being added to the Master Chief Collection through seasonal updates, getting more and more lighting effects. So I think if there were like a blue or a red or an orange LED option running throughout your whole armor set, oh man, that would be epic. And if we're talking about other armor sets that have something similar going on, if we're looking at the Hayabusa armor that originally had a katana on the back, or maybe even a new Master Chief Collection updates, how we get back ornaments like the sword and board, maybe we can have an identity disc like thing attached to our Spartan's back in multiplayer as well. Sure, this isn't super likely, but again, this is my list, don't judge me. All right, so this next one on the list is another huge representation for fan service, and that would be an armor reflecting on the Star Wars universe, and more specifically, a Republic Commando armor set. This one for sure would be very popular with fans, as Halo and Star Wars fan bases often cross together very frequently. I remember back in the day with the EOD armor, equipping that to try and resemble a Stormtrooper or maybe even a Phase 2 Clone Trooper as closely as possible within Halo multiplayer. And let's not forget that Republic Commando, the game where this armor really got popular from, is quite literally a Halo game. I will not accept any arguments on that. It is a Star Wars Halo game, and I will die on that hill. I actually made an entire video about it, so if you're interested in that, I will link it in the description below. Okay, so these last two are, again, a little bit more out there, but bear with me, I think there is some really cool potential in these armors. Next one being Shaxx from Destiny. Now, if you're watching this video and you watched Tuesday's video, you know I had an excuse to put Shaxx in on both videos. I just think there's a ton of potential. And in case you missed Tuesday's video, I'll just recap a little bit of why I think these two franchises could have a really good crossover inside Halo Infinite. I think the camaraderie between the people that were at 343 that are now in the Bungie team, or the people that stayed on with Microsoft and developed 343, I think there's probably some really good faith and goodwill between both companies. And with us hearing about rumors of the Combat Evolved Magnum showing up in Destiny, I think there's a really good chance that some Destiny content could make its way into Halo Infinite as well. And I think it'd be really cool to have the old Halo team that is working on Destiny now at Bungie, to have some of their work in Destiny be represented in Halo Infinite's multiplayer. And honestly, Shaxx's armor is awesome. I don't know of anyone that doesn't like this design, and I think if you were to tweak it a little bit to make it fit in with the Halo universe, it could be really cool and be a really good fit in with the Halo Infinite universe. All right, so yeah, this one is going to be probably one where I turn the most heads, but I'm just gonna go and throw it out there. Halo Infinite and Ninja Turtles. Okay, don't put my head on a pike just yet. I think there's some solid potential here that could be really fun for Halo Infinite multiplayer. No, I'm not talking about a full-blown turtle costume running around in Halo Infinite multiplayer. I'm just talking about some subtle references that I think would be really fun for Halo Infinite's multiplayer. I'm talking about maybe a headband that fits around your Spartan's helmet. I'm talking about maybe weapons that are hanging off of your Spartan's armor, like sais or nunchucks. I think that would just be really cool. I love the idea of Spartans carrying around other alternative melee weapons. It's a really fun concept and I love it. And we already talked about back ornaments within the Halo series before, so hey, why not a turtle shell back there? Just a little subtle one. I think it'd be fun. Now, I know this one is the most wacky and out there one I have on this list, but I think if it's done right, with just the subtle hints, that this could actually add a lot of cool armor possibilities with the customization in multiplayer. But that's it for me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this list. This week was a really fun one to get together for you. Just 2 videos in a row that were very lighthearted and fun, just some predictions or maybe some cool theory crafting ideas that I just wanted to put together for you guys. So I really hope you enjoyed. Remember, if you did, leave a like on the video. It does help out the channel a lot. Our next goal for the channel is 5K subscribers. So if you do enjoy the content and you want to be here for Halo Infinite and beyond, definitely subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. And of course, I can't go a video without thanking our gracious Patreon members, especially our ISO tier member Joey Ferris and our user member Nathaniel Reeder. Thank you guys so much. Your support is unreal. But with all that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one. Until next time, I'll see you online. Vanilla Soup